Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to cut through some of the noise around positive thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of cliche out there.
Exactly. Our mission here is to really get practical. Understand the immediate actual impact a single thought can have on your body, your day, right from the moment you wake up.
We're looking at source material, the power of positive thinking. And it really zeroes in on that first moment. It argues, that the tone for your whole day isn't set by the alarm clock.
No.
It's set by that very first thing you say to yourself inside your head.
And it's subtle, isn't it? So easy to miss. Think about the difference between waking up and your first thought is, oof, another hard day. You can almost feel the slump.
You really can, that mental sigh. But the source gives this alternative. Instead of just defaulting to that dread, you just whisper something small like, maybe something good will happen today.
Just maybe.
Just maybe. And that tiny shift, swapping that expectation of failure for just a possibility, it can change the hours that follow.
Okay, but let's tackle the big objection right away. We need to be super clear what positive thinking isn't. Because, people hear this and immediately think, oh, that's just wishful thinking or denial.
Absolutely critical point. This is not magic. It's not about wishing problems away. Thinking positively won't suddenly fix your bank account or, solve world hunger.
It doesn't change the external facts.
No. What it changes is you, your internal engine, like you said, how you react to those facts.
Right.
So when you hit a problem, instead of that freezing fear, you might feel energy to deal with it. Instead of crippling worry, maybe some practical hope.
Okay.
So over the next few minutes, we'll unpack the actual science behind that swap. And then, crucially, give you 3 specific things you can actually do, starting today.
Good. Let's start with what the material calls the perspective principle. I think this is key because it says the change has to come from inside first.
Yes, the source uses this great analogy. Imagine 2 people, same morning.
Yeah.
It's objectively rough, gray, raining, bad traffic, busy day ahead.
Okay. Setting the scene. Grim.
Pretty grim. Person 1 looks out, sees the rain, thinks about the traffic, the meetings, and just sighs, ugh. It's going to be a terrible day.
Done. Day ruined before breakfast.
Basically. They've let the external stuff dictate their internal state. But person 2 sees the exact same things. Rain, traffic, busy schedule.
Same facts.
Identical facts.
Yeah.
But their internal filter is different. They might think, the rain will clear the air. Or, okay, busy day means I'm getting things done.
So the external reality is the same, but their experience of it is already miles apart.
Totally different trajectory for the day.
Yeah.
Just based on that initial framing.
Okay, but I have to push back a bit here, because for someone listening who's maybe going through something really tough, this can sound a lot like toxic positivity. Just slap on a happy face, ignore the real problems. Does the source talk about that danger?
It does, and it's careful about it.
Yeah.
The perspective principle isn't about pretending reality isn't tough. It's about managing your internal resources, your focus.
Resource management.
Think about it. If you spend all your mental energy chewing on things you absolutely cannot change, the weather, what someone else did, things in the past, what happens?
You've got nothing left for what you can control.
Exactly. You're depleted. So this principle is about consciously directing your focus towards your response, your actions, your mindset, the things that are actually within your sphere of influence.
So the secret isn't changing the world, it's changing how you frame it internally.
Right. It's about awareness. What you feed grows. If you constantly feed your mind worry and fear, those pathways in your brain get stronger, more dominant.
And the flip side, if you intentionally feed it gratitude or hope or even just patience,
then those pathways strengthen, which actually is a perfect lead-in to the biology bit. This is where it stops being just philosophy and becomes something, tangible.
The science nugget. This is what I find fascinating. The idea that positive thinking isn't just a mood. It actually rewires your brain.
It really does.
Yeah.
We're moving from mindset to actual physiology. The source argues strongly that this is a biological intervention you're performing.
Okay, how? How does a thought, just a thought, create a physical change, a chemical change?
It comes down to neuroplasticity. The brain's amazing ability to reorganize itself, to form new connections. It does this throughout our lives.
Right, the brain isn't fixed.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So when you deliberately practice positive framing, focusing on gratitude, hope, solutions,
Yeah.
you're not just like feeling better momentarily.
Yeah.
You're actively strengthening the neural circuits linked to resilience and positive outlooks.
And weakening the other ones, the default negativity.
And weakening the pathways associated with fear, rumination, and anxiety.
Mm.
Essentially retraining your brain's default responses over time.
Okay, that's huge. And what about the immediate chemical stuff? You mentioned chemicals.
Yes. The immediate effect is also significant. When you focus on something positive like gratitude, it sends a signal that counteracts your body's stress response.
The fight or flight thing.
Exactly. That conscious positive focus actually tells your brain to dial back the release of stress hormones, primarily cortisol, which normally floods your system when you feel threatened or panicked.
Okay, so less cortisol. What takes its place? Is there a reward chemical?
There is. The brain gets a little boost of the feel-good neurochemicals, things like serotonin and dopamine. So by choosing that positive focus, you're basically mixing yourself a little chemical cocktail that reduces stress, helps stabilize your mood.
And makes you want to do it again, presumably?
Precisely. It reinforces the behavior. It's physiological, not just a fleeting emotion.
We have to circle back to the nuance, though, because it's so important. And when we say positive frame, the source is really clear. This isn't about plastering over real pain.
Absolutely not. You have to acknowledge the pain. If something hurts, it hurts. If you're angry, you're angry. Crying is okay. That's processing reality. That's step one.
So where's the positive part come in if you're acknowledging the negative?
The positive shift is what comes after the acknowledgement. It's that moment where you say, okay, this is real, this hurts, but it won't last forever. Or this is tough, and what can I learn from it?
The growth mindset frame.
Exactly. I accept this difficulty, and I can grow from this. It's using the hardship as fuel instead of letting it just flatten you completely.
Okay. And the practical outcome of doing this regularly, fighting the cortisol, choosing gratitude. You mentioned something about awareness.
Yeah, it leads to this heightened awareness of, well, the source calls them small miracles.
Small miracles, like what?
Because you're not constantly scanning for threats or lost in worry. Your senses kind of open up. You actually taste your coffee, maybe for the first time in ages. You notice the warmth in someone's smile. Maybe the city noise, which used to just be stress, starts to sound more like a rhythm, a sign of life, instead of just chaos.
That link between your inner state and how you perceive the outer world is really powerful. But okay, the big question for anyone listening, how do we actually do this? How do we take this, biological concept and use it when life gets messy?
Right. Application. The source gives 3 really concrete practices, simple things, designed to frame your day, morning and night, and give you something to grab onto when stress spikes.
Okay, let's break them down. Start with the morning.
Practice 1, the morning affirmation. And the key here is, keep it simple, keep it honest. No need for grand, flowery statements you don't believe.
Just one true thing.
Just one small, verifiable good thing about yourself, or just your effort.
What kind of examples does the source give?
They're beautifully basic, which makes them powerful. Things like, I'm trying, or I'm learning, or even just, I'm still here.
I'm still here. That's pretty minimal.
It is, but it's enough. It's enough to set that first positive sentence we talked about. The one that starts shifting the day's trajectory.
Let me play devil's advocate again. If I wake up feeling really low, truly overwhelmed, and all I can muster is, I'm trying, does that tiny thing really combat that huge wave of negativity? Isn't the bar too low?
It feels low, but it's intentionally low, because that small, truthful affirmation is the starting point, the seed.
Okay.
The source emphasizes the goal isn't instant happiness or fixing everything. The goal is just to interrupt the usual negative script that might run automatically.
Interruption.
Yes, I'm trying. It acknowledges the struggle. It doesn't deny it, but it asserts effort. Agency, which is way, way better than the default I'm failing or this is hopeless. It redirects that neural pathway just slightly from pure defeat towards effort.
I get that. Shifting from outcome, I'm failing, to process, I'm trying. Okay. Now, what about when things inevitably go sideways midday?
Right. The chaos hits. That's practice two. The mid-stress pause. Something genuinely stressful happens. Bad news, conflict, pressure. The key is to physically and mentally pause just for a second. Take one deep breath intentionally.
Okay. Deep breath. But sometimes, if things are really intense, breathing alone feels insufficient. What do you focus on during that pause?
The focus point. This is critical. You ask yourself one simple, powerful question. What's one small thing I can control right now?
What's one small thing I can control right now? Why that question?
Because anxiety loves to run wild when we focus on the big, messy, uncontrollable future or what other people are doing. That question yanks your focus back.
Back to the immediate present. Back to your own agency.
Exactly. Maybe the only thing you can control is your posture, or your next breath, or the very next sentence you say, or just clicking save on the document you're working on.
So it breaks the overwhelm by finding one tiny point of control.
Yes, it shifts you from that cortisol-fueled paralysis into just a micro moment of intentional action. You're not trying to solve the whole crisis in that second. You're just handling the next 5 seconds.
Okay, that feels very doable. And then, the end of the day, practice 3.
Practice 3. The nightly gratitude. Right before you sleep. Ideally, the very last conscious thought. You deliberately bring to mind 3 small things from the day that genuinely made you smile or feel some sense of gratitude.
And again, keeping the bar low here. We're not searching for major triumphs.
Absolutely not. The source gives examples like, getting a nice text from a friend, enjoying a song on your commute, the taste of your dinner, or even just the simple fact that you made it through the day. Your body worked.
So you're consciously choosing the final thought, not letting it be the last worry that popped into your head or replaying the stressful event.
Exactly. You're ending the day on a note of quiet appreciation, measured peace.
It creates a kind of positive feedback loop, doesn't it?
That's the whole point. Gratitude actively reframes the day you just had, regardless of the difficulties. It labels even ordinary days as containing blessings. And it reinforces those positive neural pathways you hopefully started building with the morning affirmation.
So you go to sleep reinforcing the positive, making it slightly easier to wake up primed for possibility again, rather than dread.
That's the idea. It builds momentum.
So if we put these together, the morning start, the midday pause and control, the nightly gratitude scan, it really paints a picture of building resilience, doesn't it? Positive thinking, based on this source, isn't really about pretending storms aren't happening.
Not at all. It's about learning how to, well, maybe not dance in the rain immediately, but learning how to find your footing, how to find some light, some balance, even when things feel dark or chaotic.
Yeah.
And it all rests on that underlying belief the source talks about, that every challenge has something to teach us. Every ending, even a painful one, holds the seed of a new beginning.
Looking at the big picture, then, this whole approach seems to be about actively managing our subjective reality, realizing our mind isn't just passively receiving the world.
It's actively creating our experience of the world, which leads to that really powerful final image from the source.
The paintbrush.
Yeah. Your thoughts shape your world. Your mind is the paintbrush, and your day, every day, is the canvas. You're the artist of your own subjective experience.
So the final thought for you, listening. You hold that brush, given that your thoughts are the paintbrush, and tomorrow is a fresh, blank canvas. What colors will you choose?
A A good question to ponder.
We'll leave you with that. See you next time on The Deep Dive.